Hey, what's up guys? Right now I'm going to be working on this Trail Tech vapor gauge on the 77 GS550. I already did some things to it off camera. I had my little boy out here doing some schoolwork, so I didn't want to make video. While he was doing his schoolwork, get his attention off of what he was doing. So I'll bring you up to speed where I'm at. I set this on here, just everything kind of loose, to see where it all lines up. And I do have some bar risers I'm going to put on it, because you can see it's covering up the key right there where it's going to be mounted. So if I get some bar risers up, get some bar risers to raise these bars up, that might give me some more room. If not, I also thought about putting it down here, but I got to be careful putting it down here because of this gas tank. It needs to open up that way. It swings back towards, so I can't swing it back towards if the gauge is mounted too low. So we're going to see what it's going to be like there first with the bar risers. See if you can still access the key. I do have power to the unit already. Just a power and a ground, black on Suzuki, or ground on Suzuki's black with a white tracer. And then for power, I tapped into the brown wire here that goes into for a light up front. What else did I do to it? I did extend the wire for the temperature sensor. They're never long enough. You can always buy the adapter to make the temperature sensor wire longer. I don't know why they just don't include it, because you'll always need it. But I just extend it, my iron, cut it, solder a piece of wire in between. And here we have our wire. It's going to go to our spark plug, or not spark plug wire. And then here's for our speed sensor, and I already did cut the for the speedometer sensor, this U bracket as they call it. Right there's the part number of the kit I got, but that's mainly because it comes with a 14 millimeter for the spark plug, and that's what size the spark plugs are on this machine. Well, right here's the parts that I cut off for this U connector. Just kind of go around like that and make a U. It's for an ATV to bolt right on the front. I think what did it say? Trailblazer. I think also fits like a Yamaha Blaster. And I put this exact same kit on this scooter right here, as you can see, and it does work out great. Had to extend the temperature sensor wire on that too, of course. But what I'm going to do right now, I think, is get these bar risers on and maybe permanently tighten down that gauge to see where we want it to sit. Alright, got the clamps off. Get these risers up under here. We're using the lock washers that came on the original clamp bolts, but the ones that came with these risers aren't lock washers. Lightly tighten everything up here just to hold it in place. I'll give us room under the key. Yes, I believe just barely. You'd be able to just get the key in and out. Be like an incognito key. Could also go in from the side, I believe. I'll finish tightening this down. Get the bar centered and straight. Center and straight. Tighten them down evenly. Go with that for now. Alright. Let me get a wrench, tighten that guy up there. I think that position there would probably be pretty good. These gauges, they come with a mount to mount them on 7/8 bars and your 1 1/8 fat bars. So that's convenient. And there's also a bar pad that goes across here that I need to try to remember to reuse. See if we can move this over a little bit. There we go. It might still squeeze in there, we'll see. That gives us, yeah, more of a sitting up position. Gauge looks like it's aligned right to the rider. The key is going to be able to still go in. Might just be a little bit of a pain, but it can still fit in there. I'm sure he'll like that. Alright, next I'm going to pull this tank off. That way we can make a clean run of the wires, because we need to put the spark plug, there's a sensor that needs to go on that, and then also the RPM for the tack. We need to put the wire on there. Alright, I'm going to get this tank off here. I already got the fuel and vacuum line off and the screw out of the tank. So it should just come right off. Oh, feels like he brought Timmy full too. That was nice of him. There we are. Definitely full or almost full. Alright, now we'll be able to run the wires up for the sensors, temperature sensor, and also the pickup for the tack. Run it up along here. That way it's not hanging down anywhere. So I'll probably just pick it up off number 1. And to put that sensor on, you do have to take the gasket off the spark plug. So a lot of times you got to cut them off. Sometimes you can spin them off, but not usually. So I'm going to go cut this off and grab the wires. I'll be right back. Alright, got our 2 wires here. There's the one that just goes right on the spark plug. I just put a pair of pliers on that other gasket that was on the spark plug and just worked it back and forth, and it just snapped and I was able to peel it off. And the sensor is the new gasket, will act as the new gasket for the plug. There's that. Then for the pickup, for the tack, it says in the instructions you want to wrap it 5 times and secure it around the spark plug wire. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, looks like we're at 5. I usually give 5 or 6. Give it an extra one just to be safe. And then I just use some tape to wrap everything up and hold it on there tight. Get that guy layer that way. You can also use zip ties. I feel like a couple layers of tape does about the best job that it can. You can even put a zip tie over the tape if you want. Whatever floats your boat. UPS is in a hurry today. Just take and run your wires. Do a nice job of it. The whole way up to the gauge cluster. Grab a couple zip ties to hold everything in place. And then we'll be done under here. We can put the tank back on. We finish running our wires up. Work on the speed sensor. Alright, I'm going to finish snaking these up through here, putting them in some holders. And I'll bring you right back as soon as I get it finished up. See, I'm almost done already. So you take it right up straight through there yet. Now we're going to get the speed sensor on. I already have the pickup magnet right there. And what I do is I just put a little drop of shoe goo right on the magnet and then let it sit on the rim. The magnet's very strong. It's not going to go anywhere, but that shoe goo just gives you a little bit of insurance. They do give you a couple options. They send you a bolt along for the rotor. You can take out one of the rotor bolts, put that in, put the speed sensor down here somewhere. On this bike, I really couldn't find a real good area to mount it down there or anything. So right up here is where we're going to stick it. There's no front fender running on this motorcycle, so we can utilize the bolt for where the front fender is. Even if you did want to put a fender on it, this bracket can just sandwich right between the fender and the fork, or on the other side of the fender actually, because there's going to be enough room. Instructions say to keep it no more than 1/2 inch away from the pickup magnet, and I measured just over 1/4 of an inch, so it's perfect, right where it needs to be. So I'll tighten this down right there, run this wire up with the brake hose up to the gauge cluster, and bring it right back. Alright guys, and there we are. Sensor on, bolted right there to where the fender mounted. Goes up with the brake hose. And then up the top, we got a noodly mess from all the extra wires. You wanted to go through and shorten all these, you could, but you can wrap them up nice and we'll tuck them down in right there with the OEM wires. You never know any different. But then here's the wires for the two sensors, for the coil and for temperature. Just ran them right up along there, and we're gonna clean everything up here now and make it all look nice and pretty. Alright guys, there we go, it's installed. Pretty clean wiring job. Everything cleaned up nice. There's our speed sensor. Runs up along there. And I was having issues with that RPM pickup on this one, because with the wire I think was laying too close to the other wire for number 2, and I think it was picking up one and 2, so it was throwing the tack all over the place. So what I did is I moved it to number 2, and I ran out of black zip ties. I'm gonna have to get some black zip ties and replace these yellow ones. But what I did was put it on number 2 and kept the wire away from these two wires and put it up in, just kept it completely away from any of the other wires, and that cleaned up the signal to the tach. But yeah, that was it. Let's start it up here. Keys hidden under here now. Light lights up. Hit the start button. There she is. What do you guys think? Think we should take it for a ride? Yeah, we better. Just to see how it works. I'll leave the little condom on here. That way he can take it off. Make it feel like he did something. Alright guys, here we are out riding around. There's a better look at what the bike looks like. It's a pretty cool thing. Still work in progress. He's not done with it. It's definitely a cool bike. Let's take it for a ride. Sorry, I forgot to put my wind filter on the GoPro, so it might be a little windy. Speed's pretty close. Right there at 41 right now. That thing is calibrated just perfect. Bike back for some more wood. I don't know what he might have in store in the future here.